Hey, welcome back to my studio. I'm Marty, and today is actually the last video for 2016. And so I thought to myself, this is a really great opportunity to show you a little bit around in my small songwriting slash mixing room. I'm going to show you a little bit of my equipment and what I actually am doing here. And maybe you get some ideas for your own setup. And I would say let's get straight to it. I'm gonna grab the camera and show you a little bit around. All right, so here is the mix room, and before you come into the mix room, you see this poster of this really famous singer, which was made by Andy Warhol. Really like that. Then we enter the mix slash songwriting room. No cell phone, of course, especially when recording. So it's a fairly small room. It's not that big, but it works really great for what I do. Mostly record singer-songwriters or just singer, doing overdubs and narrator, so voicing, where I have just the narrator standing here or the voice-over artist. The room itself is treated with acoustic foam on the walls, especially here on these sloped walls, which are actually pretty neat because it minimizes the corners, so the right angles, and I have less bass built up. So I really don't have any bass problems in this room, as well as with high frequencies. The acoustic foam does a really great job there. I have it also on the monitors left and right there, so it works pretty great. And maybe let's just start here on the right side when you enter the room, where you can see this piano, which was made by Thomann, and it's a really affordable piano, but the keys are really like on a real piano, and they work really great. I mostly use it just for MIDI recording, and I use then in the software, which is Logic Pro X in my case, the software instruments. And I just got the piano for my songwriting, and also for artists that want to lay down some MIDI tracks. And with a proper keyboard, you can play much better than just with a standard MIDI keyboard without any hammer-weighted keys or something like that. Then, as you can see here, I have also another monitor, which is monitor 2, and here is monitor 1. They show exactly the same thing. So you can just sit down on the piano and record or do something else that I want to do in the DAW while recording piano, which is pretty handy. Then here we have a pretty old guy, Power Mac G4 from Apple. Of course, I don't record anymore with that. It's just there for data saving for my projects, documents, files, and so forth. So it works for that, and that's good. Then, on the first wall here, we have some guitars. Sorry for the light, but the room is just too dark for the camera, otherwise, if I have turned it off. This is a Les Paul copy, which has standard humbuckers in it. Sounds really great. Use it for mostly overdriven guitar. Got a Stratocaster, which is from Squier here, very affordable, but it sounds really great. Have it also in my other videos that you want to check out on my channel. This is a really old guitar. You might kind of say that it's vintage. I think it was made in Japan, and it's a copy of a Hummingbird, I believe from Gibson. It had a minor injury back in the day. My father used to play with that, so I mostly use it just for slide guitar, as the strings are now pretty high, because somebody who repaired it didn't make a great job there, but it works kind of great for sliding. And then another acoustic guitar, which is a Hohner, and it's now in Nashville tuning, so a little bit different strings. And then here we have a Ibanez classical guitar, don't play much classical guitar, but here and there it's kind of neat and really handy. Then let's focus here on those guitars, which is the Recording King that I mostly use when I record songs. It's a smaller body, but it sounds really good. And here is the Epiphone Sheridan that you might have seen in one of my other videos. And those are my two main go-to guitars when I record for different artists or for myself. Then we have a shelf here with some CDs, kind of a catalog where I can check out other songs. Also have cassettes here. But anyway, I have it now imported into the computer here, and I can just check it right in the DAW rather than inserting any CDs anymore. But it's kind of cool to have it here and look at some covers or something like that. So then here in this shelf we have on top here just some boxes with PC parts, so computer parts. I have here CDs and also guitar parts that I might use someday. Down here we have a small orange amp, which is the Crush. I have a video up on my channel where I test that unit. Use it mostly when I'm have to do kind of mobile recording or something like that, or for practicing when I'm not at home. It works really great for that. I mean, it's very small, it's not too heavy, and you can take it anywhere. And here is the first interesting part, which is an old Akai tape machine. It's actually 4-track, but I just use it for a 2-track. And I use it for certain instruments like drums. For example, I program drums here in the DAW, like with Logic Drummer. I pre-mix it and then I dump it down onto tape and back, so you get this really heavy saturated effect. It does sound actually, in my opinion, a little bit better than the saturation plugins, as it is a real tape machine, and you really hear that saturated sound with that. So it's an Akai GX630 with Dolby. And then we got here a sofa, which is very cozy, and I think every studio should have something like that, or a comfortable chair for your clients to sit on or relax a little bit or do whatever they like. And here we have a rather beautiful view. It's in the evening now. As you can see on top on the hill there is the clock tower of the city of Graz, which is here located in Austria. So all the rooftops of the old city. Okay, let's focus back here on the equipment. Here are my two amps, the Marshall and the Champion 100. I really do like recording with real amps. I actually do record with just the DI and software amps in the DAW, but I really like the sound or play around with different microphone setups. It's kind of a different sound. Okay, this is now the pedal board, which I use for my guitar amps or also for DI sounds. So it just plugs straight in my guitar here and it goes out. For example, I have a break out here, which goes into the power plant, which is the blue cable. So this is just a dry signal. And I also have a mixer out here, which goes into the Fire Studio project here. So I can just record the pedal board itself, which is great, for example, when I record with microphones or the amp, and also a second track for just the DI of the pedal board. Can sculpt the sound later on when I'm not happy with the sound of the amp, for example. So anyhow, we have here the wah, Dunlop Classic wah. Sounds really great. Second one is the main squeeze from Digitech, which is a compressor to even out the transients a little bit, for example, when recording clean sounds. And then the third one is the B9 organ machine from Electro Harmonics. Has really great sounds like jazz organ or classic rock. I think it sounds better without an amp, so just with the DI signal of the organ straight into the mixer or the pedal board. And can also, for example, use a modulation here, and also the clicks or the action of the keyboard is here also emulated. You can also have a dry signal here, like the clean guitar, and mix it in with the organ, so you can blend those together. It's really funny pedal. And then I got for when I use, for example, a clean sound on the amp itself, I use a Screaming Blues to get a little dirt in there. This is actually pretty good sounding, and I sometimes also mix it in with a little bit of overdrive, and I use a second overdrive, which is here the Screaming Blues, and it gets really a gritty and dirty blues sound, so I really like that. And those are just the switches for the Marshall and the Fender Champion. And then let's go to the rack here. Well, here is my coffee. Let's take a sip. And go back now to the rack here. So probably you've seen on my other videos the equipment that I use. I start off here with the DBX 266, which is kind of my drum bass compressor or percussion compressor. I also use it often just in parallel mode, so to really thicken up the drums. Then this is a new one. This is the FMR, the really nice amplifier, leveling amplifier. Sounds really great. You can check out the video for that. Then I have here the good old Alesis 3630. It's pretty known for EDM music, for example, like Daft Punk used it for this pumping effect, and it works really great for that. Again, I also use it for parallel compression, so you can really slam the signal with that and then sneak it into the original signal, for example. So underneath the 3630, I have the newer one, the 3632. Mostly use it here on the vocal group with the limiter on. It does a good job for that. It doesn't have a particular sound, which is actually for a group pretty good. And then here we have the TC Electronics M350, which is a multi-effect unit. I mainly use it for halls and slapback delays, or studio delays, or ping pong, for example. Sounds really good. Then below here we have the Friedenstein VAS mic pre, which is my go-to mic pre for singers and also for voiceover. It's linked with the VAS compressor. Works both really great together. Get really a thick sound for that. It's heavily colored when you turn up the gain and, for example, the output a little lower, so you can really drive it also into a distortion if you want that. And for instruments like guitars or bass, like bass DI, I use mainly the TL Audio, the Ivory 2 here. Has also a compressor section, and it sounds also very good. Then another level down, maybe get some light here. Oh, that's better. This is the good old power plant from the, I believe, late 80s, early 90s. And it's actually a guitar amplifier, but it has no box with it. So it's just a DI where you just connect your guitar, and it has an outboard or outgoing connector, which you can use for a mixing desk, or you just go into the audio interface. And this unit, I mainly use it for heavily overdriven guitar sounds. It simulates a 4x12 cabinet, so it's really, really big fat sound. And I mainly use it, as I said, with overdriven channels. You can use the clean channel, but for clean channels I prefer the Fender, for example, a little bit more. And here are the Fire Studio projects from PreSonus. They are daisy chained, so 1, 2, and 3. And those go out to the console on the back, which is here. Let's go quickly now to those two units, the Alesis MIDIverb 4, and mainly use it just for a room setting here, to kind of simulate that everything was tracked in the same room, and the Lexicon MX200. So, and I really do like having outboard FX units, especially when I have a console. It's very easy to use it on the auxiliary sense, and you can really take away the strain on the CPU, so you don't have to insert too many FX plugins, especially halls, reverbs, and so forth. Console itself is a Behringer MX8000. It works pretty well for what I do. The sound isn't actually colored too much. I don't use the mic pre's, as I have the input on the tape returns, so it's not in the gain circuitry. And they tend to get a little bit hissy when you use it with microphones or gain hungry microphones. So I actually don't use the mic pre's, I use the outboard mic pre's when I'm recording. It has 4 subgroups, stereo, 24 channels, meter bridge, which is really handy. And let's start maybe here in the beginning with drums. This is kind of template that I have going. They always end up here. Then percussion, bass DI, then all the guitars, acoustic guitars and electric guitars with a single solo channel, piano stereo, synth stereo. Let's take away the keyboard here. Lead vocals, 1, 2, or can use it also in stereo. Back vocal stereo. This is the FX return from the FX sense in the DAW, so in Logic. They end up here. And this is just for recording when I want to write faders during recording the TL audio and the Friedenstein. And as far as the subgroups go, I have here a drum bass on 1 with the DBX. Bass bass, have the FMR now. Instrument bass, the 3630, sometimes also in parallel compression, and the vocal bass with the 3632 at the moment. And then let's head on to the monitors. Those are just normal computer monitors for referencing and check how it sounds on normal speakers. Here are the monitors, the ESI, which are a German-based group. Those are the classics, the 05, so 5-inch woofers here. As I said before, I don't have any bass problems, but it's just the fact that I don't use a subwoofer with that. When you use a subwoofer in small rooms, they tend to get a little bit boomy, and you might end up with really big problems. So actually I don't use big speakers in this small room, and it works pretty well so far. Then the DAW itself, as I said beforehand, is Logic Pro X. I started actually out with Logic Pro 9, and I didn't switch to any other DAW so far. I really like the convenience working MIDI with that, and it does everything I want. So on the walls itself, just some projects that I did, and that's basically it. So that's the room. And forgot maybe here just a microphone case where I store all the microphones. Maybe let's get it out here. Let's put that away a little bit. Just have a sneak peek into the mic locker that I mainly use. So this is my go-to vocal mic at the moment. Very affordable, MXL9000. It's a tube microphone. Didn't swap the tube so far because just like the sound of it. Audio-Technica 2020. Then I got here a ribbon microphone, which is from Thomann. It's the RB100, and it sounds typical like a ribbon microphone, very dark, not much top end, and I use it for recording the amps, so the guitar amps. And I actually use also on the guitar amp a dynamic microphone, which I have here, for example. It's pretty the same as a Shure 57, and it has no mesh up there. And this actually, when I'm recording the guitar amps, picks up all the higher frequencies and the mid-range. And this one is just for the kind of the boominess, the low end, and the bass frequencies of the guitar amps. And this is just a typical snare microphone from Samsung, really cheap one. And I use it sometimes for the Kayan here, which is a Mindel Kayan. Haven't played it in a while. Maybe I should do that again. And what have we else? Just some standard dynamic microphones for singer or live applications. And here is the AKG 1000, which is the old one. I think the new one is the black one. And I don't know if it sounds any different. Some people don't like it, but I actually got great results with it on acoustic guitar together with a LDC, so a large diaphragm microphone. Yeah, so I would say that's it. So that's the whole room again. I hope that you liked the video. I also want to thank you for your support this year. I got really great comments in my videos, and I hope that I could give you some ideas and my tutorials are a little help for your mixing approaches. So I would say all the best for the new year and see you in the next video. Bye.